All right, so we are sitting with Betty Who. Hello.
Hi.
We were trying to remember, when did we first meet her? 2 years?
Years. It's been years.
It has been, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Back in the Bay for a big tour.
I'm so excited.
Big tour in a short amount of time, too. Like, how many shows do you have in like a month or two?
So many. It's literally so many. I actually don't know the number. I saw somebody write it and I looked at it and I was like, really? We're doing that many shows?
I got overwhelmed looking at the graphic for it. I was like, does this girl, is she going to sleep?
Yes, maybe. I guess we'll find out. I'm really excited. I think it looks quite overwhelming, mostly because we've had to add second shows in a lot of cities, which
because
is exciting.
of the sellouts.
Yes.
Right?
Very exciting, but it's also like, I'm tired already. But it's good. It's going to be really great.
I know.
Are you one of those type of performers that likes going on the road, or how do you feel about going on the road?
There are pros and cons to everything.
do tell.
Right.
I live to perform. You know, that's my,
Sure.
I was like put on this planet for a reason, and it's to be like showered with attention and praise.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like that's my
We have no idea what that's like.
Put a mic in my hand and I am like,
Ecstatic.
I can't be tamed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are drawbacks. I think the thing for me, like, it's difficult to feel rested ever. But we have a day off tomorrow and I'm going to sleep pretty much all day. It's my
Okay.
plan. So, you know, it's nice. The last tour I was on, I just got off the Panic at the Disco tour.
Oh, wow.
And so it was, everybody on the crew was joking that we called it the No Good Weather Tour because it was literally so cold the whole time.
Name some cities.
Was it all the U.S.?
Montreal got up to like a negative 35 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not even kidding. I walked outside. My hair froze. Like
Sure.
it was that
Oh,
kind
so
of
this was during the Arctic
polar
freeze,
vortex.
right? Like,
Yeah.
like
No,
a
our
couple
tour
months
started
ago?
January 10th. And so we were on it for like 5 weeks, and every city that we got to, like we were going to the south, everybody was like, finally, we're going to get some sun.
Sure.
In Houston, the day before we got there, it was like 73. We got there 25. And there was we literally
Weird.
followed the polar vortex everywhere, or it followed us, I should say. So I will say it was nice to get off the bus yesterday and not be in 75 layers.
Right.
So that's like already a perk, and we're already getting better because of that. So I'm feeling very grateful for, like, even though it's still cold and it's May and I'm like, San Francisco, why can't you be 75 degrees?
You're still going to see people with sandals, though.
I'm still happy that it's not negative 100 degrees.
Yeah.
So I'm okay.
And that
This is
probably
good.
affects your audience, too.
Well, we almost had to cancel a show in Grand Rapids because it was a huge storm and people couldn't make it to the show, you know. And
What a
Panic,
bummer.
Panic was very much like Brendan didn't want to cancel it. The police tried to get them to cancel it because they didn't want people getting in accidents trying to get to the
wow.
show.
Right.
And it's like, well, you know, you want people to be safe, but you also want not to disappoint people. And so
Yeah,
I
that's
think
such a hard position to be in as an
it's
artist.
a hard call. But I think everybody got to the show. It was a sold out show, and most people showed up. So I think it's really about, like, you want to have a safe place to go and be like, no, you guys have been planning. And people travel to shows, especially that happens to me as well. I hate having to cancel shows because a lot of people buy tickets to, you know, plane tickets.
We're
train
taking the
tickets.
weekend. We're going to Montreal.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to
So
see
that-
Betty Who in
it's-
5 different spots.
Exactly. A lot of people come to many, many shows. So I'm really, I try not to do that, especially with weather. It's like, no, if it's horrible outside, you guys that's the first place you're going to want to be is not at home, like
Right.
trapped. You're like, let's just go to the show.
I have a dumb question. Was there a noticeable amount of extra luggage because of all the extra layers that you had to
Gosh,
pack?
when I was packing, I couldn't believe how much room I had for stuff because I didn't have to bring 7 jackets. My big winter coats. More shoes,
But-
more wigs.
So did they send you an email like, don't forget to pack extra layers because we're following the polar vortex?
Actually, one of the most thoughtful things that happened was Panic bought every single person on the crew, which was like over 200 people, like the really thin but incredibly warm, like puffer jackets. Sort of like this
Yeah.
one, but that material all the way, and it had
Yeah.
a little, like, very subtle Panic at the Disco logo on the side.
Oh,
but they were, like,
nice.
the Arc'teryx or whatever. Super light.
Roll them up
light,
in a bag.
But for real,
Yeah.
like, this is actual, you need warm winter gear.
Yeah.
And made jackets for literally everybody
Oh,
on the
that's
crew,
great.
That's really
including us.
sweet.
So that was, I can't believe, I don't know what I would have done had we not had those coats. Because I have my normal winter coat, but when you're in negative 25-degree weather in Montreal.
It doesn't
Well,
matter.
and then winter is different for everyone. So winter for us here is below 60. Like,
Yeah.
whoa. And winter for what you went through is legit. Like, we can't even leave. I saw, gosh, what was it? things would freeze in the middle of the air. They put like ramen soup and the noodles would just freeze, just being exposed to the air for like 3
Did you
seconds.
see the video of the girl who was walking over to her friend's house and her hair froze like upside down? The wind blew her hair up. and it
No.
froze. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
I'm gonna show you.
nuts.
I'm gonna show you. It's
Some of the
really
more
cute.
tragic ones, there was the guy that tossed the boiling pot of water over his head, and only 3/4 of it froze, and the rest of it hit the back of his
That's
legs.
something I would do. Like, I can't wait to make this cool video, and then I'd burn my
Ow.
face.
That feels like, in retrospect, do you know how dumb he probably feels?
Yeah.
At the time, he was like, it's all going to freeze, and then it happens, and he's like, I'm so stupid. That's the worst part. It's not even the burn. It's
No.
the feeling of, I am so dumb.
But you know what? I would battle through and be like, God, but look at all the hits I got.
I know.
That's all I would care
How do
about.
you guys feel about Instagram taking the likes away? Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
Oh, we talked
How do
about it.
you-
It
how do
hasn't
you
happened
feel?
yet, has
No,
it?
it hasn't.
I don't know how I feel. I actually don't like it. I don't like it. I'm
don't like-
vain, and
you want the
I like
validation.
knowing who likes
Well,
it.
but you would still have
Access to
the
it.
access to your own likes.
It just
It's just that
wouldn't
you
show.
can't see other people's, because that's the problem, is the comparison game, right? It's,
Yeah.
So people are like, they got 10,000 likes and I
Right.
got 8, and I'm
But don't
getting-
advertisers only care about followers?
Yes, but I think they're probably going to have to figure out a way to take, like, it's like on Spotify. I get all of my information of not only how many streams, but also like where they're streaming from, what playlist they're listening from.
Right.
I have a bunch of like metadata that only I and my team have access to.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's probably what Instagram will plan, is to have, here's your like package that you can send to advertisers to say, this
Oh,
is my
okay.
reach.
Sure.
But it's not public knowledge, so that
Yeah.
it's less harmful.
There's
to
so
people's
much
self-esteem.
swag in the likes, though. And
We
there
might
are-
be the wrong people to ask because we just got a blue check
We
mark
just got
this
our blue
week.
check mark like yesterday.
You are verified. You are for real.
So
now.
legit,
How
right?
do you feel?
I feel
I feel
thankful.
legit for you.
I
to
feel
be honest.
thankful.
Yeah.
I want to hug every single person that listens to our show because that's the only reason this happens.
That's amazing.
Facebook yesterday, Twitter the day before. As far as Twitter
been a big
likes, though,
week.
yeah,
It has been a big week.
week.
I know we peaked and it was Tuesday. I was like, can we just take the rest of the week off?
Thank you guys, everybody. Yeah, take 5. Thank you. Yeah.
I feel like there are a certain amount of trolls out there that will literally look at a picture and then they will look at how many followers you have, and then not being able to see the likes is just weird because there's a certain amount of flex there.
Yeah, there's definitely a flex. I mean, I think. Listen, I kind of get it. I think I think it would make me feel. I've had moments. Listen, I won't lie to you and say that I haven't like gone into a whole like stalking Gigi Hadid and
Right.
been like, my life is garbage and she is perfect and I hate everything about myself.
Why
Like
is it
that-
my mom Yolanda?
Honestly, like her like horse farm, and I'm like, okay, cool. I have nothing to offer this planet, but I feel like that is always going to happen. And anyway, I don't know. I sort of get it, and I think maybe that's because maybe if I was getting 1 million likes on pictures, I'd be like, don't take them away. Wait, look at everybody. Maybe because I get no likes on some photos. I'm like, yeah, take it away. It's fine. Nobody needs to see it.
I do that too. I post
Yeah.
a status on Facebook that I think is hilarious, and I'm like, no one cares. It's like
I
10
think I'm
seconds. I'm
funny.
like, I
I
should just
know.
delete it.
I know. I think I'm funny.
I'm very
not
emo.
Not everybody really can get on board sometimes. And I'm like, okay.
What do you do though? Because you have so many live shows, and that's more pressure. People have their cameras out.
Sure.
Have you ever fallen or messed up?
Oh man, have I fallen? No, I am pretty. I like to think that I'm pretty like relatable with how like incapable I am of being a human being sometimes. So
Sure.
like if I fall, I feel like it's pretty normal. Most people are
Yeah.
like, yeah, whatever. It's not like, oh my god, she fell, I'm gonna put it on the internet. I feel like everyone's like, yeah, she's just like dumb and fell, and it's fine.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
feel-
attitude to have.
Yeah, I definitely think that like I mess up all the time on stage. Mostly what happens to me actually is when I can get carried away sometimes talking to the audience, and then I find myself, I'm listening to myself talk going, you're talking about nothing right now. Like, what are you even saying? And I like get like lost.
We do that on the air every day.
The train
for work.
leaves the station and you're like half in, half out, and you're like, oh, I don't know where this is headed, and I feel like I need to jump right now. And so I think a lot of the time I'll literally say on stage, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Let's just start the song.
You know who else does that, though, is Adele.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen her live.
I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah.
I relate a lot to the way she talks on stage. I feel like it's very similar to how I
She's
just kind of, I like to
very
hang
vulnerable.
out.
I think people love that though. They get to see how you think. You know, they can hear it with melody, but like actually seeing you in the moment.
Yeah. And
it's
I
different.
think it's nice to walk away from a show feeling like you know the artist better. Not only you got to see them perform and you got to listen to your favorite songs, but you also feel connected, I think, in a different way when you're like just hanging out. Because I always, there are moments in the show where I'm like, you guys doing okay? Like, let's do it and let's keep cooking because
Right.
I want the energy to be up. But then I'll take probably two moments in the show where I'm like, hey guys, like,
Yeah.
let's chat for a second. What's going on?
It's sweet. As an audience member, I actually get sad when they don't do that.
Me too. I'm always like, talk to me. Like, you seem really fun. I want to know that. I want to know how fun you are. Like, show
And
me.
it acknowledges, it really makes everyone present. Like, oh, she took a moment to say hi. You know what I mean? Like, everyone knows everyone's there, but
I also think, I don't know, I am very aware as a millennial, I'm very aware how difficult it is to actually get people to leave their homes and like come see a show. I think
Yeah.
live music is like, people barely go to the movies anymore. Like live music is one of the last things that I think people still do that I'm pretty shocked that they still come out
Sure.
and do. Because you can't really experience live music the way that you can watch movies in your own home. You can get a huge TV if you want the experience. You can't.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
No.
And so live music is something I hope will kind of never die off because of that, because you literally cannot get it anywhere else and get the energy anywhere else. And so I'm really grateful all the time. I try to stay present to the fact that like none of these people had to be here.
Yeah.
Like, this is a big deal. Like all these people took work off. Like people changed their lives around to be able to make this happen. And I think that's really rare nowadays. So I'm very grateful for, the fact that we sell any shows out. I'm like, look how many people showed up to do this with us. How cool is that?
By the way, I looked. There is one pair of tickets left for the show at the Fillmore tonight in San Francisco,
Whoa.
but it's a resale, which means technically
it already sold.
It's a
Get
sellout.
it, girl. Get it.
Which means everyone should get the poster tonight.
Yeah.
Have you performed there before?
I have, and we didn't sell it out. And so when I went, because you go upstairs and they have all the posters, and I was like, we were only a couple hundred tickets away from selling it out.
Right.
And I was like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We didn't do it. And I remember being like, we're going to come back here and I'm going to smash this. I'm going to sell it out. We're going to do it. And we did it. So
How
it's
great.
like-
What a
it's
great feeling.
it's nice to have, I have a huge list of things that I want to do in my life. And it's rare that I am just kind of like casually checking them off. And,
Sure.
and tonight is going to be one of those.
Yeah.
nights. I'm really excited.
And I also want to say, I love that you are donating some of your ticket sales to the Trevor Project.
Yeah, so $1 from it. We add a dollar to every ticket sale, and that dollar goes to the Trevor Project, and it's an awesome setup, and it makes my life really easy because everybody kind of like, if they want to or not, is donating.
Yeah.
Which works I'm like, no, this is something that I really care about, and if you want to come see me, you can help out too.
You don't have to
Yeah.
ask. It just happens.
Yeah, and it's really I'm really grateful to everybody also who has bought tickets, has been really supportive and very excited about it, which I think it's really cool. The collective consciousness of my fans and my community is, I think that's what is important to me, also happens to be really important to them. I think that's why we're also kind of, I feel so close to them and I feel really like seen. 'Cause they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I love that you care and I care too, and that's really exciting.
That's awesome. Well, it's not just about music, it's about the cause and standing up for things that you believe in and support.
And that's what music is about, right? It's like is to bring you, music is the only thing that you can experience like while you're doing other stuff. You can't really watch a movie while you're having a conversation. Like you can have it in the background, it's not the same. Like music is the thing that travels with you. You're listening to it on, in the car with your friends, or it's playing in the background of a party, or it's your first dance at a wedding. I feel like there are so many moments that music gives you and you can share. And I think that's all I ever wanted to do, was like be the soundtrack to people's lives.
Yeah.
And so when people come to the show and they share those stories about why it's important, it's not just I love this song, it makes me feel good. It's like when I met my boyfriend, there's always a backstory. It's like, 3 years ago this happened. I came to a show and I met this person, and then it's like the depth of kind of how important some of the music has become to some of my people. I feel like that also kind of like ties into the whole community of like, we care. It's really important. It's not just about I'm going because I want to. There's like, I feel really
An
special and
emotional
lucky.
reason.
They're totally,
well, and then
I
they
really
can
feel
tell
really
you face to
connected.
face, and like, because you wouldn't know, like otherwise
That's
they
my
come to
favorite
your
part.
show, but then you hear the story, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't. That's really a
I
cool
love
thing
when
to be
people
involved
come
in.
up to me and they're like, I want to tell you, like, my boyfriend and I are here together. This is our first show together. We've been listening to you for forever. Like, you are our artist. People tell me that a lot. They're like, you're like our relationship music. And I'm like, that makes me so happy.
That's great.
I know, it's really nice. I'm so
I
excited.
love that. You should be.
It's really sweet.
I
You
love
put
it
that out to the world.
I try, yes. That's I want to be like a positive force of just like energy and light. And I want to make people feel really happy and good and like support them. I think about that a lot. I'm like, what do I actually want to put out into the world? And it's like a safe space for people to feel like they can be
Yeah.
themselves and feel like also like to make people happy. If you're having a really bad day, I want to make the song that you put on and you're like, okay, I feel better now.
Your music is happy though. Like you cannot not want to dance or want to be happy or just want to like the new one. I remember.
Yes.
Can we talk really quick? The music video. I need to know.
Well, why?
What? Yeah, the alien guy.
So I wanted to. I'm insane, clearly, and I was talking to my music video director, and I was like, I have a crazy idea. I want to be an alien, and I want to fall in love with myself, and I want it to be like, you know, it's a metaphor for how different you can feel from somebody when you're in a relationship. Like when you're actually talking, like I'll talk to my fiance all the time, and even friends, when you know, differences of opinion and culture and where you come from, parenting, you know, things that are really important to me. And when I talk about like future parenting choices, kind of in the big grand scheme of things, I'm like, oh, this is how my parents did it, and this is how I'll probably do it. And my fiance will be like, are you kidding me? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And it's like, oh, we are so different, and we have to find a way to work through that and still be good to each other and be good partners. And so I wanted to write a song. I remember it's the first song I think where I kind of didn't really romanticize love so much. It's more about like a really like grown up adult relationship and how much harder they are than anybody ever told me. Disney lied. I feel lied to. So the video is kind of a really silly but very fun metaphor for like you're from a different planet than me in so many different ways, but I still want to be with you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, we can be different and still want the same things and work on that together.
Yeah.
I just finished a book about long-term relationships, and they said that the hardest thing that we do as human beings is interact with each other. Yeah. But the even harder than that is interacting with your person, your soulmate. Yeah. Because at least with your friends, if we piss each other off, which is on the daily, we could just leave.
Yeah.
But when you're with your person, they're there, you're
The
still
stakes
there.
are higher.
You got to figure out a way to work it out. And then you throw kids in the mix. You can't just bail.
Gosh, totally.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
But it's the hardest thing we do as human beings is interact.
Well, and I also think with partners, like as friends, I think agreeing to disagree is much easier.
Right.
So you can be like, you think your way, I think my way, and that's fine. I
Right.
don't care that you don't agree with me. But when you have a partner and you're especially making decisions about your lives together, that becomes so much more difficult to be like agree to disagree, because then you're like, no, I'm right and you were wrong.
Or you have to maintain a front. A congruent front to present to your child.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
crazy. Yes.
You could say, well, daddy feels this way, mommy feels this way, but then your child's like, well,
What is happening? Yeah.
See,
So
that
it's-
scares me.
I got a dog, and I'm already literally.
Yeah.
It was funny. I've always wanted. I can't wait to have kids. I can't wait to do it. I got a dog, and I was like, wow, that is still quite a ways off. Even the dog alone. I was like,
The dog
not ready
triggered
for
you.
kids. Not ready for kids. You didn't realize till now. Definitely not ready for kids.
You know what a dog does for you? It gets you ready for poop.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it.
makes you
Oh my
okay
God.
with poop.
Nothing now. Are
Right?
you kidding?
Nothing.
You got this.
Whatever.
Nothing
You
phases
got
me.
this.
Because you're picking that up with your hands too. You don't do that with a kid. You know, you clean it, but you don't. You have to really get in there and you're squishing it in that bag.
Yeah.
For a
I
dog,
have a 4-year-old daughter. I could tell you so many stories, but
I
we don't have
believe
time.
No no kids, no pets for that reason. Not ready for any of that. Last random question. Are you obsessed at all with anything royal baby, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle?
Isn't Archie a great name?
We were just talking about that today.
I really like Archie as a name. I am completely obsessed. I grew up in Australia, so I'm like a Commonwealth, I'm fanatic. I
Right.
love the royal family. I grew up wanting to marry Prince Harry and Prince William, so like Meghan is doing it right.
I know, right?
She had her sights set and she did it. I love the drama. I love the like American princess
Comes
kind of,
in.
yeah.
The tornado.
Well, who used to be an actress, right? From the Hollywood, like
It's a bit
the
like this is-
crossover, giving
we
us hope.
We are so like lucky that this is our royal family drama, because it's going to be
know.
another like 100 years until like another American princess.
I
this is our
know.
Grace Kelly. It's exciting.
Oh, very much so.
really exciting.
The guys don't. I'm the only one, and I just.
I'm here for you.
Thank you.
I'm so here for
Okay.
you. Yeah.
We
that's okay.
just discovered that Meghan Markle and Sandy grew up in the same area.
Yeah, I was born in
And
Santa
that-
Monica. She grew up in Canoga Park, and I was like, oh my God, God, we were friends, but we didn't even know it.
Wow, I used to
That's
like
so
live right next to Canoga Park. I used to live
Oh
in
my
Woodland
gosh!
Hills,
See,
so
we're all friends, and we didn't know
Degrees
it.
of separation are
Oh,
so.
we are royal.
Wow. I feel it. I think we are too. I think
we are too.
Okay, great. It's official, you guys.
Right?
Yeah.
We're talking to Betty, who the tour
Yeah.
just started, right?
Yes,
Did it start last
was,
night?
literally our first night.
Was it good?
Yes, it was. We always book a show in a city that we know is a little smaller so that if we mess up really, really bad, it's not in front of 1,500 people at the Fillmore in San Francisco. And I feel like we had such a kind of like forgiving crowd. It was a really sweet group of people who came to see the show in Santa Cruz. And we kind of had a couple technical difficulties, which I'm hoping we will not deal with tonight, but that's show business.
Was it
Right.
the Civic? Did you play the Civic, or where did you
We
play?
played the Catalyst.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
what
the
a
Catalyst.
great
What a
venue
fun
that
room.
is. God.
So we had a nice night. It was definitely like first couple of days of tour. I think everybody is just like, what's my routine? What's
Yeah.
my life going to be like
Yeah.
on this tour? And you have to find it. And I think that takes a lot of energy. And touring already takes a lot of energy. So we're all like, the first couple of days, I think we've been sleeping pretty well. By the
Yeah.
time we're in bed, we're like down.
Good
Gone.
night.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to conserve, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the show's really like it's quite an athletic show, especially for me and the boys. I mean, for everybody on stage, we're all working really hard and we sweat a lot. We burn like 1,000 calories in a show. So by the time
Nice.
we're done,
How do you know that?
I wear my watch, my Apple Watch.
Oh, good for you.
When especially on rehearsal, not all the time on stage. Usually I don't wear it on stage, but we've done. I've done a couple shows like Pride festivals and stuff where
Sure.
I'm wearing my Apple Watch, especially if we're outside. Ooh, if we're outside in the summertime, I am burning 1,000, 1,200 calories in like
Wow.
an hour
That's
set.
exciting
It
because you're
is
having fun.
wild. So that for us is pretty like when we get off stage, we're all like, okay, thank you, everybody. Good
night.
night. Sleep
We're
time
going
for
to
us.
bed.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't blame you. Well, the new album is Betty. The single is I Remember, and you're at the Fillmore tonight, and then you're doing a million shows between now and the end of June.
Truly, yeah.
What is the best way, like online? Like, do you have a favorite social platform?
Instagram is my favorite because I totally run my Insta and
Okay.
I have help on my Twitter and Facebook, but I'm everywhere. You'll find me anywhere. But BettyWhoMusic.com has my tickets, has my merch, has literally everything you could
Beautiful.
possibly need from me. So.
And congrats on the sold out shows already. That is so
Thank
exciting. You
I'm
deserve
really
it.
Excited. Thank you. It's really exciting too, especially at the beginning of tour because tour starts and it ramps up and people are like, oh, I got to get tickets because I want to. People are hearing about it. It's
Yeah.
nice before the tour even starts. We sold out the Fillmore, a month in advance. We sold out Terminal 5 in New York, which is one of my favorite venues that I used to go see when I lived in New York, like 2 months in advance, which is so like I feel very amped and it makes me like want to put on the best show ever.
Aw.
Something
really
that you do
excited.
for your fans that I respect is you give updates when you're about to sell out. You're like, hey guys, I forget what they're called on Twitter.
Ticket
but
warnings.
Ticket warnings. Hey guys, ticket warning. And there were like 6 in a row. Ticket warning, ticket warning, ticket warning.
Because it's like, you don't, that's the worst is you're like, oh, I gotta get tickets, and you don't think about it.
And
Because
they're
it's
gone.
me. I'm like the most unorganized, like couldn't get my life together if you paid me $1 million. And
Yeah.
so we try to keep everybody updated. Like, if you still are as disorganized as I am, you still have a chance.
You might want to get
Still
on
have
it.
a chance. Yes, exactly.
Love it. Have fun tonight.
Thank
Good luck on
you.
the congratulations on the poster.
Thank you. Oh
I
my
should
God,
say.
I can't wait to see it. It's
a big deal.
I know. I feel.
Are you going to tweet it out or put something online? I want to see what it looks like.
Literally, of course. I'll put
Okay.
it up the second I get it, just for you.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, okay.
Betty Who, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.